it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share a couple of projects that are perfect for your Christmas sewing. Since the holidays are just around the corner, I thought it would be a great idea to do a three-part series of videos to help you get ready for the holidays. I'm going to start off today with a wall hanging and a lap quilt for our September installment. And then in October and November, the projects will get a little bit smaller and a little bit easier because at that point you'll have less time to get them done. But I thought this would be a great idea to just share something with you in September, October, and November in case you have any last-minute Christmas sewing that you need or want to do. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you about this month's projects. Okay, so I'm really excited to be sharing this series with you, and as I mentioned, we'll start out today with the two biggest projects, and the first one is free, so that's a bonus. I have to mention also that both of today's projects were actually pieced by my friend Nancy Lane from California. Nancy is a friend that I met in a class that I taught for her guild, and she's been doing a lot of sewing with my patterns and with our fabrics, and it's been really fun because she will often make a version that I wanted to make but didn't have time to get to. So it's been really fun to kind of work with her, and she's just an excellent seamstress and quilter and all-around wonderful person. So I really appreciate her letting me use these projects for today's video. The first one, as I mentioned, is the Evergreen Mystery from Fat Quarter Shop, and they actually used our Favorite Things fabric in their quilt. And it's a series of 4 patterns, and you do, the presents one week, and then you do the pinwheels, and so it was kind of a mystery going along, and this is what it looks like all finished. It's a really nice wall hanging that finishes at 31.5 inches by 37.5 inches, and just a really great wall hanging size. And I love what Nancy did with it, and I'm going to make mine exactly like Nancy's. Also, the quilting was done by Marion Bott, and Marion just did this all over crosshatch, digital crosshatch, that these boxes are just about 1/2 inch, and just the perfect embellishment for this. I also want to show you the back. I thought it was so fun. We have this fabric is in 44 inch wide, but we also have it in the extra wide backing. And I thought it was super cute that Nancy, I actually did the binding on this. My only part that I did on this was the binding. But I emailed Nancy and said, what binding do you want me to use? And she chose the red stripe. And I thought that was perfect to go with the polka dot that she had chosen for the backing. I didn't use this combination on any of my quilts, and I thought it was such a really nice combination. And so this is something you can honestly finish up in a weekend and have it ready to decorate. It would also be a great quilt to use a darker background for also, and if you wanted to put it outside or something, it would be a great quilt to have if you have space to hang a quilt outside. Okay, let's talk about the next quilt. And this is really fun. This is my Getaway pattern, which I shared with our Strawberry Lemonade collection. And if you remember from that video, I actually mentioned this would be really fun in a Christmas group. It would be really fun in a red, white, and blue collection. And a couple weeks ago, Nancy sent me pictures, and she said, guess what I'm making? I'm making your Getaway pattern in Favorite Things, and I just fell in love with it, just like I knew I would. This is, like I mentioned, something that I really wanted to make myself, but I didn't have time, and Nancy got it done, and so love what she did. And I told her, hey, if you send it to me, I'll get it quilted and I'll bind it for you and use it to share with people, and then I'll send it right back to you. So this was also quilted by Miriam Bott, and I love this design on this quilt. I've got to have her use it again. It's really modern and really fun, and Nancy did a beautiful job. She used the daisies for all of the cornerstones. You could also make those scrappy if you want. And this pattern takes a honey bun and a layer cake. You could also, I believe, get all of the pieces that you need from a fat eighth bundle, and or yardage or bigger pieces too. One thing I wanted to mention was Nancy always does a great job of picking borders and binding, and she picked the green and with the green stripe, which I just love, and she used the polka dot for the backing on this one as well. So once again, the only thing that I did on this quilt was the binding, but I love doing the binding on quilts. And again, this quilt really goes together quite quickly, especially with using the pre-cuts. They save you a lot of time. And when I made the original Getaway Quilt, I got it done in just a couple days. So lap quilt size, it finishes up at 63.5 inches by 63.5 inches. And yes, it's September and you have time to get this one ready for Christmas. Now next month I'll be back with a project that's a little bit smaller, but still enough time to get that ready for Christmas. And then again in November, I'll have a third video in this series. Okay, so that's it for part 1 of the little getting ready for Christmas series that I'm going to do. Today I shared the Fat Quarter Shop Evergreen Mystery quilt in our Favorite Things collection, which is a free pattern set of downloads that you can get. And I also shared my Getaway Quilt, which was a new pattern release with our Strawberry Lemonade collection, but which I have here today in Favorite Things. So this is a wall hanging and a lap quilt, and as I mentioned earlier, next month I'll have something a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker, and a little bit easier, and then one more video in November with another fast, fun, and easy project or projects, depending on what I get done before then. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.